Dr. Harvey Campbell here with a very key concept in health when we're thinking about our bodies, but not only in our typical health mindset, but in our whole life size mindset. One of the signs of life is called adaptability. And actually, in the absence of any stress, we actually will slowly weaken and start to die, actually. So we need the right amount of stress to adapt to and get stronger and ultimately become better versions of ourselves in all kinds of ways. But what is this called? The tipping point of adaptability. So we want stress for our body to function normally, to get stronger, and just part of normal everyday life. Like gravity is a constant stress on our body. So that constant stress is actually used by our body when we have good alignment and good posture in our spine. It's actually used effectively to help operate our body. But when we have injury in our body, we can't adapt to that stress very well and actually lead to problems. And so our tipping point of adaptability is different for different people depending on your overall level of health and actually strength and stabilization of your nervous system and spine. But in general, the greater the stress or the greater the strain, the more it's required from our body. And there's a point when we start to actually get into like what's called the sweet spot where we're adapting, we're getting stronger, and the stress is actually more and more helpful. Okay. But if we keep the pile on stress, we tip over the tipping point and we run into limitations of matter, limitations of our body, limitations of our mind, and we'll actually start to injure and weaken our systems. Okay. So, like athletes, professional athletes, they are trying to get as close to that line as they can without going over because it costs them when they do, but they want the max performance of their body. And so they want to max it out. Now, for everyday athletes and everyday professionals, we want to operate in that zone, but we want to be in the bottom of it. So I call that the sweet spot. So we want to be achieving max adaptability, max stress, max strain without injury. Okay. Because as soon as we tip over, that's also the maximum injury. Okay. And so we want to flirt with that line as close as we can. And like I said, this isn't just physically with our bodies, this is mentally. We want to push our brains as far as we can and continue to get them stronger without pushing them over the edge. That's where we're starting to get other mental health problems. We want to do that with relationships. We want to be putting ourselves in interesting environments. We want to be injecting stress directly, but at the same time, like having kids, go on vacations, starting hobbies together, these things cause extra challenge. But when you adapt them as a team, as a unit, you get stronger and happier and more productive as a couple. And so you got to think of this in other ways as well too. And then of course, vocationally, we're always looking to get better at our professions. And with the absence of problems or stresses, we don't have a skill set to grow into. And so think of where are there problems in my life that I can adapt to and get stronger so that ultimately I become a better version, a best version of myself. All right. So key concept, tipping point of adaptability. Any questions, just put those in the comments below. I'd love to hear them and respond to those as we can. Okay. Bye for now.